Students, welcome back to our next session. In this session, we are going to do the problems based on lens maker's formula and power of the lens. This maker's formula comes under fourth chapter, that is refraction of light at curved surfaces, and power of the lens formula comes under fifth chapter, human eye and colorful world. So based on these two formulae, we are going to do the problems in today's session. So first of all, we should know what is a lens maker's formula. Lens maker's formula for any type of lens, whether it is a concave lens or a convex lens, is 1 by f is equal to n minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. In this, f is nothing but a focal length, n is refractive index, r1 is radius of curvature 1, r2 is radius of curvature 2. So the R1 and R2 values, for conventions of R1 R2 values for convex lens is different, and as well as a concave lens is different. Sir, how we have to take for a concave lens? For concave lens, the R1 value, for concave lens, the R1 value is taken as a negative and R2 is positive. And for convex lens, reverse to this, R2 is negative, R1 is positive. Please remember these. If you remember these conventions, then we can do the problems of lens maker's formula very easily. Okay. So as usual, you know the focal length if it is required. Okay. Sometimes the focal length they have to find out and these values will be given. Sometimes we have to, the focal length will be given, R1 will be given, you have to find out R2, and refractive index will be given automatically. So if you are finding out focal length, okay, then you have to substitute the values of R1, R2 and refractive index values. The standard value will be given in the problems, and sometimes R1 will be given, N is there, F will be given, and R2 you have to find out. So the different ways, the chance of different ways of asking these problems based on lens maker's formula for both concave and convex lenses. Okay, next after this, we are going to discuss about power of the lens. What is this power of the lens? Power of the lens is nothing but now the formula which we are going to discuss is power of the lens. Power of the lens means, what is the power of the lens? Power of the lens is P is equal to 1 by F, nothing but the reciprocal of focal length is called power of the lens, or the degree of, how we can define, please, if you want to write, please write down the definition. The degree of convergence or divergence, the degree of convergence or divergence of light rays, please write down the degree of convergence or divergence of light rays that can be achieved by a lens is called as a power of the lens. I will repeat, the degree of convergence or divergence of light rays that can be achieved by a lens is called as a power of the lens. This is standard definition. A simple definition based on the formula is reciprocal of focal length is called power of the lens. Okay. Now, if we take focal length in terms of meter, then here it is considered as power P is equal to 1 meter by focal length. Now, if the focal length, if you are calculating in terms of centimeter, then it is taken as power P is equal, you know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters here. Then power P is equal to 100 centimeter by focal length. Please try to understand this. If you have idea about this, we can do the problems more easily. And the units of power of the lens is diopter. It's better to write small d because there are certain rules to be followed while writing the units. Okay. Now, if you are writing full unit name in full frame, that is, you should write small with the small letters diopter. No, sir, I want to represent the unit in a symbolic way, simply means diopter in the sense D, capital D you can write. The units of power of the lens is a diopter, or simply we can write D. Are you understanding? Now I will give you one simple tip whether based on the power of the lens we can guess what type of lens is it, or based upon the focal length can we guess what type of lens it is, and definitely we can do that. Now, if the power of the lens, for example, if the power of the lens is minus 2d, if the power of the lens, if you got the given one is minus 2d, then the lens is concave lens. The person using the lens is a concave lens. Okay, and the person is suffering with the eye defect called as a myopia. Remember this, which is very, very important. Or if the power of the lens is minus, means automatically the focal length is also minus. Focal length is also negative value. Power of the lens is also negative value. Then we can understand that the lens so used by the person is concave lens and is suffering with myopia. Now, if the power of the lens is plus 3D, for example, okay, if the power is given as a plus 3D, then the type of lens is a convex lens. Okay, and the focal length also positive, and the person is suffering with eye defect called as hypermetropia. You may get one doubt, sir. In old age people, we used to come across the problem of presbyopia. 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 In presbyopia, okay, they may have both powers, plus and minus. For example, one is a plus 2D, another one is minus 1D. For example, I am saying here. Oh, he is supposed to use both the lenses. In presbyopia, the type of lens used by the person who is suffering with the disease is generally bifocal lens. Bifocal lens is used, or concavo, convex lens. Sir, how it is, sir? Means, for example, you consider this one as a lens. A person is suffering with presbyopia. The lens used by the person is like this, and we have two lenses like this. So, in this, the upper portion is representing what lens means concave lens. Okay, and the lower part is convex. So, for the upper part, the power is to be in terms of minus, because concave lens, this is, for example, the given value here is minus 1D. And the lower part, for example, I am telling you, it is plus 2D. So, the person with a presbyopia, suffering with presbyopia, is supposed to use both concave and convex lens together, nothing but a bifocal lens. Okay, having both the powers. Are you understanding? Another problem based on lens maker's formula in case of a convex lens. A double convex lens having equal radii of curvature and a focal length of 20 centimeter, and the refractive index of the lens is 1.5. So, first of all, we have to find out the radii. We have to find out how much the radius of the convex lens is. He did not give, he has given some clue. A double convex lens having equal radii of curvature and a focal length of 20 centimeter, and the refractive index of the lens is 1.5. First, we will write the data. What was given here is focal length f is equal to, so we have convex lens now, focal length will be positive, that is plus 20 centimeter, and the refractive index n given as 1.5. He said a double convex lens having equal radii in a sense, two radii we have R1 and R2. For example, R1 is equal to R. R2 is also R you consider. Understood? Now, if you apply the conventions for a convex lens, R2 will be negative, R1 will be positive. Remember this. R2 will be negative, R1 will be positive. R1 is plus R, R2 is minus R. Remember this. Then use the lens maker's formula. 1 by f is equal to n minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. You have to use this formula. Now, even the conventions, please remember this. Focal length is how much? Plus 20. I will write simply 20. No need to write plus sign here. Now is equal to n. N is how much? 1.5. 1.5 minus 1 into 1 by R1 is how much? R. R2 is how much? Minus R. Okay. For a simple understanding purpose, R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R. But you have to apply the conventions. Na? So 1 by R minus 1 by minus R. That is, I will write it as 1 by 20 is equal to 1.5 minus 1. That is a 0.5. Next, take the LCM. R. LCM is R. Otherwise, we can do like this. If you are getting any confusion, we can do like this. That is 1 by R minus into minus plus 1 by R. I hope you understood this step. Now, I will erase this part. Now, we got by substituting, after substituting the values, everything, the next part is 1 by 20. Okay, 1 by 20 is equal to 0.5 means 0.5 only for presently I am writing. 1 by R plus 1 by R. R is the LCM. R will go in R one time. That is 1 plus another is also 1. That is like this. Next one. You can keep the bracket according to the formula concept. Then 1 by 20 is equal to, I will write 0.5 only into 2 by R. 1 plus 1, 2 only, 2 by R. Now after this, okay, 1 by 20 is equal to, I will write this one as 1 by 2 into 2 by R. Okay, now 2 gets cancelled. 1 by 20 is equal to 1 by R. If I take the reciprocal, R is equal to 20. I hope you understood. R value is 20. Okay, so we got the radius finally. Maybe why I explained this kind of problem means chance of getting even this pattern of problems in the board examination. If you get there, you may get confusion if you don't have any practice of these problems, this kind of problems. Please make sure to practice 2 or 3 times after watching this class. Then if you have any doubts, you can comment in the comment section. Okay, please copy this. Do another problem based on power of the lens. A doctor advised to use 2D lens. What is its focal length? And mention the type of eye defect with which he was suffering and type of lens suggested by the doctor. Okay, and the type of lens suggested by the doctor. What type of lens he suggested? Okay, so we have to find out first initially focal length. A doctor advised to use 2D lens. You should have some basic idea because previously when we are discussing about power of the lens formula, I was given small clues how to remember. Okay, if the positive value means how, negative value means how, I explain. But before that, we do the problem. A doctor advised to use 2D lens. That is, power of the lens given as 2D plus 2D. Remember this value plus 2D. Or we can write diopter also, no problem. What is its focal length? They find out the focal length. Now, power of the lens formula, power P is equal to 1 by F. Now I told you already, here is 1 means 1 meter. If I convert into centimeters, 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Okay, I hope you all are understanding. Now power P is equal to 1 by F na? Then I will transform it into power P is equal to 100 by F. We know the value of the power. Power was given as 2 plus 2, 2D, that is here power, okay, 2 is equal to 100 by F. Now do cross multiplication. By cross multiplication, 2F is equal to 100. F is equal to 100 by 2. 2 1 ja, 2 5 ja 50. That is F is equal to 50 centimeter. Okay. Now the focal length value is a positive. Focal length value got is a positive. Power of the lens is a positive. Focal length is also positive. Then what type of lens it is? Any guess from your side? It is convex lens. The power is positive, focal length is positive. Then the type of lens suggested by the doctor to wear is double convex lens. Simply we can say convex lens. Okay. And based on this lens, we can guess the eye defect. The person is suffering with a hypermetropia. I hope you all understood this. A simple logic. Okay. So after copying this, we'll go with another model of a problem based on power of the lens concept. Okay. Please copy this.